Hey guys, you're watching another episode of the DELoL show here from the DELoL On Air Broadcasting Studios in the heart of Highland Park in our own skyscraper. We're up on the 17th floor, and today in the studio we have Reese, who's doing some work. Let me finish.
Sorry.
We're doing some. Who's doing work with these? Let me finish.
Don't
listen to him at all.
And we're doing some. You've been doing some work with the Super Six Kids with Cancers Foundation. We're gonna let you talk a little bit more about that, and we're also reviewing. I know I probably didn't get the name exactly right. Taff, what does Reese do?
Oh, no. That face was actually because my phone is blowing up over there, and I feel bad that I can hear it. It's right by Jedi's feet, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
So unprofessional.
So we've got Reese in the studio, and we're going to take a little bit today and try to be responsible and give back to the community a little bit today, which she's done more than I'll ever do.
Yeah,
me too.
She makes me feel very unproductive in my life, and I'm 33.
And then, of course, to tie that together, we're also going to be reviewing zombie werewolves,
Nazi
werewolves from Outer
Space.
Space 2 from Trauma Comics. And you're going to sit in and do a little review with us?
Cool.
Would you like to do that? Okay, great. Well, let's start the show, Jedi. Hey guys, we're back with Reese from Super 6, and I guess that's Task's phone blowing up off air?
Actually, that's not mine.
Oh, really? So
That's
Jedi was
actually
the
program
unprofessional one
director
today.
It was a second ago.
So,
It's
of
not
course,
me.
we've got Reese. What's your last name, Reese?
Kirkham.
Kirkham. Okay, now don't give out your address because that's enough for creepy people to find you after that. But Reese is going to sit in with us during the Trauma Comics review. So why don't you met Taff the other day. Taff had called me crying, and she was like, I met the most wonderful little girl. I want to bring her on the show. We're going to have to bump Mr. T. And I was like, well, I can give him a call, but I know he's going to be a little disappointed. But luckily, he was willing to switch off for you. So, Taff, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you met Reese?
You know, I think I've seen Reese a few times in like awesome costumes. I think I saw you once as a Weeping Angel, and then you came out to Keith's Comics, and I didn't even really I didn't make the connection until Mom was like, you know, here's a photo, and I was like, I have this photo. Here she is again, being an awesome zombie from The Walking Dead. And then this past, when we were at the sci-fi convention, you showed up in an amazing Shadowcat costume.
Thank you.
And I was like, hey, this girl's pretty cool. And then, you know, just kind of being there all weekend, I got to talk to Mom and Dad, and, you know, they were, very kind, you know, to talk to me. And then we started talking about, like, her science project and, you know, just kind of stuff she's into. And I was like, this little girl's pretty cool. She makes me feel very unproductive of a 30-year-old. Something. So I figured, you know, maybe we could get her in because just recently you did some stuff with Wipe Out Kids Cancer. So I guess we'll go ahead and talk about this. So how'd you come out with the whole Super 6? Where'd that come from?
Well, what we were trying to do is help kids with cancer because I have a friend, Lauren, who has cancer. So my team wanted to do a community need to help kids with cancer. And we had to first come up with a team name. And we felt that we were trying to be super by helping these kids. And there were 6 people in our team. So put that together, we're the Super 6.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And
I wouldn't have come up with even that. I would have been like, I don't know, the whatever.
People trying to do things.
Yeah, Bruce.
Human fun.
Well, I like the logo too here, the Superman
cool.
logo with the 6 instead.
Who came up with that logo? Did you come up with that?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Really?
pretty cool.
Good
That's
Lord.
way cool. That's very cool. So, after hearing about that, and you had like an article that was written on you, because this video essentially is supposed to be submitted to a contest or something, and it didn't get aired because there were some problems on their end.
Yes.
So, but they had there was an article that was written about you guys that was pretty cool that someone did. So how was that? How was, getting a little bit of a spotlight on your cause?
It was nice. I'm just glad that we got to help these kids.
It's pretty cool. And
Reese, we've never had an article written about us,
Yeah,
so
you
already went up on us there. That's pretty good.
That is pretty
So
cool.
maybe mention us next time.
Yeah,
doing
maybe you could help us out and give us a little press.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. And then,
So how long ago did this start? When did you found this? You said
5 months ago.
5 months ago. And what do you focus on? I know you're trying to help, but what do you specifically do in the group, or what does the group do to accomplish its tasks?
like, you guys donated a bunch of stuff, or you gathered some stuff. You had some help from Zeus Comics. That maybe they gave you some
yes.
stuff. Yeah, what'd they do? How'd that work out?
Zeus Comics helped us by. Zeus Comics donated 425 comics, but also helped us by doing a 1-month donation drive.
Hey, Reese.
Yes?
See the picture up on the screen right now? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, here is our friends, and we have Sydney on the left, then Catherine, Reagan, Riley, Olivia, and me. Here, just at the bottom of the picture, there's all the stuff we got from our donation drive.
Free boxes. All right.
Awesome.
I can use those. What type of stuff did you donate?
Well, what we tried to do was help kids with cancer by making their stay easier at the hospital. And we donated toothbrushes, hairbrushes, pillows, blankets, as many things.
So sometimes just the essentials that they weren't able to have.
Yes, because the moms had to sleep in chairs. They didn't get blankets or pillows or anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So anything about that? So you're also donating to the people that are there, just the family members that are helping the kids as well.
Yes.
So generally, I mean, how do you deliver this stuff out of curiosity? Do you just walk in and hand it to them, or how do y'all do that?
Well, we can't go into the hospital and give the children their bags because we have diseases. Even though we're not sick, we might have diseases.
Right,
that
bacteria and some other stuff.
So we can't give them the bags directly, but we give them to the nurses and the doctors, and they hand them to the kids.
Well, that's great. Do you think that the doctors and nurses take credit? Do you ever think that they walk in, they're like, "Hey, kids, look at all this stuff me and the nurses got for you"?
No, they probably go
that-
through the comics first, like, oh, I don't have this issue yet.
Yeah, do you think that maybe the doctors take some of the comics?
No.
I know a lot of doctors.
Yeah, and you guys had like a good amount of comics. How many comics were you guys able to raise and bring to the kids and stuff?
425.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Were a lot of those kids happy? Were they a lot of comic book readers? Were they just ecstatic to get some stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what, Reese, I've actually got 2 boxes of comics at my house that I was thinking about selling. Would you like to have those instead?
Sure.
Okay, great. Well, Carol will be happy. She's been bugging me to get those out. I finally went through and knocked 2 of my boxes collections down. So yeah, if your Super 6 could use them, I'd be much happy to do that. Can I get a receipt for those for my taxes? So, what's the best part about doing this?
Well, we got most happiness when we first saw we got a picture of the first kid that got our buddy bag, and she had the biggest smile on her face. It just made us all so happy. Even one of us cried.
Are you thinking about continuing this? I mean, I could see you doing something like
yes.
this till you're through an adult, or maybe making this into a foundation or something like that.
We're going to be doing it next year as well.
Great. And how long does it take y'all to normally raise? Do y'all have like a drive period, or do y'all take all year round, or how do you do that?
Well, we usually get a project, and then we have so many days to do the project, and then we go to the place where you show your project, and the judges see it, and then you get graded.
Oh, well, that's Pretty cool. I never got to do anything like that.
Yeah.
No.
When I had to do a volunteer thing for school, I'm gonna let you in on something. Don't tell anybody else this. So I don't want anybody at home knowing this. But we were supposed to clean up. I was a bad kid. We were supposed to do some sort of community service act, take pictures of it to prove that we did it. And so we went to a nice, clean strip of highway and took pictures of it. And then me and my friends put trash everywhere, and then picked up a little bit of it and pretended that
Really
we
don't.
cleaned it up. It was horrible.
That is the worst thing ever.
I'm showing her by comparison while I'm teaching the people at home.
That is the opposite
Don't
of
do
charity
it,
work.
Don't do what I do, people at home. Like, this is somebody you need to model your life after right here. This is somebody who's actually doing something. But wow, I mean, that's just so cool because at your age, I was not thinking about other people at all. Now, granted, I never had
You're
somebody.
not thinking about other people at your age.
Exactly.
Wow.
Even as an adult. you don't.
Well, I let them come on the show for $300, didn't I?
Yeah, well,
So
that was
He
a
did give
steep discount.
It was. It was
right,
nice
and we lowered that
discount.
from 1,000. But yeah, I mean, I also never had one of my friends. I was never unfortunate enough to have one of my friends come down with something that serious, and so. And I'm glad I never did, but obviously your friend did, and I'm glad to see that you turned that into something positive for not just your friend, but other kids as well and their families. So, I mean, I want to get to this in a minute because I'm dying to know about this here.
Yeah.
But about the Super Six, how did you said there were 6 of you? How did you get the group together?
Well, most of them I already knew, but there's this new girl in my class, so we wanted to be adventurous and try new things, and also at the same time be caring. So we said, hey, do you want to come join our group? And she said, sure. And then she did a great job, and we made a video, and she just blew everything.
How do you get the word out there to people? I mean, because I know at your age you can't really drive, many places, and you're kind of restricted on who you can talk to and what you could do. And obviously your parents, I'm sure, are a big help. I'm making an assumption on that. For all I know, we're horrible parents. Hi. But so I mean, how do you get out there to spread the word and make these collections and stuff like that? Also, they're very nice people at home and being sweet. All right, but how do you get out there to get the message out there?
Well, over the years, I've met a lot of cool people who know more people who
Over
know more
the years.
people.
And over the years, I haven't. That's so weird.
So I know people who know people who know people, and they keep spreading the word, and then those people tell more people about their donation boxes and where they are, and that's how we got many donations.
Where are some of the donation boxes when they're out?
Well, we had one at Zeus Comics, and then we had one, let's see, Olivia's dad's company. I have a friend that is a grown-up named Kevin, and we put a box at his office. And, oh, yes, Keith donated a lot of money, but we didn't have a box there. He just donated.
Gotcha.
He's pretty good about that. I
Yeah,
work with
Keith's
Keith.
always a
Keith
great
is
guy.
really good
Well,
guy,
so
too.
is Richard and the
Yeah,
Mother
so is Zeus. Two of my
They're both
favorites.
great comics.
You
Well,
should
great
be in
comics, both
charge
great
of our
people.
advertising. 'Cause
Yeah, I know. Can we,
all we do now is stand on corners and yell at traffic.
can we hire, and not even anything relevant to the show. You just like, I don't want you.
So we should be taking notes about
I know.
this.
We need
This
to
is
bring you
interesting.
on to staff here. So that's pretty cool. Well, gosh, it's pretty intimidating. I got to
Yeah.
admit. Now you said you don't get to visit the hospital. Have you ever met any of the people in person that you've helped, or?
No, but like I was saying, we saw that one kid, and she was 4 years old, and she had cancer, but it made us all so happy. But I don't really actually know any, but I know Lauren.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this. Could you hold this up in front of the little camera here,
Yes.
Jenna? Can we show this? Now, this is the logo for the Super 6.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, who came up with that logo?
Well, it was a team effort, but
Look at her. Just so good at this.
thank you.
Okay, we'll see your face. But it was a team effort. But I mean, so
But you
somebody
did the
came up with the
design, right?
idea.
Yes.
How did you design this? It was Photoshop or by hand or?
Well, I was thinking, like, super. How would you write super? Because I didn't want to be too plain with the design. So super. I thought Superman, super logo. So I came up with the super and then the 6 in the middle.
How did you? But I mean, did you draw it by hand, or did you have somebody else actually create it when you described it to them, or did you do it in like Photoshop? I don't know when kids learn Photoshop nowadays. I didn't learn until I was like 20. But how did you actually make the design after you thought it up?
Well, first we did a sketch of how we hoped it was going to look like, and then we handed it to, I know another grown-up friend named Heather who makes T-shirts, and I told her and showed her the sketch and everything, and she just...
It looks great.
Thank
I'm
you.
very impressed. I do graphic design all day, and this is better than any of mine.
It really is.
So yeah, it's not bad at all. I love the colors. I get like an 80s feel almost for the green and the purple. For that mauve?
It's pink.
Is it pink?
It's pink, Dale.
Pink. Trying to show off. all the
Just so
people at
Reese
home.
knows, 80s is where we're from.
Yeah, that's so even way back in the 80s. So
Yeah.
this may bring it around again. God, I had another question there, and I just forgot it. It was about the 80s. What was your favorite 80s movie?
I'm not sure if I actually know one, but I know some 70 movies.
Oh, all right. Let's hear
Break
some
it
of
down.
those. What's some of your favorite
I
70s movies?
think The Goonies, maybe
That's
not.
80s.
That's 80s.
Okay.
No, you're good on that. Yeah.
Then yes, Goonies.
Very nice. What's your favorite movie?
I don't have a favorite movie, but I like Goonies, Legend, Back to the Future,
Very nice.
Stardust, Princess Bride.
Ooh, I love
Princess
Stardust.
Bride.
And Princess Bride. I like Neil Gaiman a lot.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman's always great. But so is William Goldman. If you like Princess Bride, have you ever seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid? Ooh, same writer. Pretty good.
Slightly different stories.
It's slightly different stories.
not nearly
It's got
as
two
romantic.
handsome men in it. You may like it. You may have to wait a few years for your parents to let you see that. But that's a great movie too. Well, what are some of your favorite comic books?
I like Coraline.
Ooh, I love Coraline. That's Gaiman again, isn't it? Yeah.
I like the graphic novel of Wrinkle in Time.
They have a graphic novel of that?
Yeah.
I have the movie and I have all the books. I didn't know they had a graphic novel.
I have one right here.
She came more
She's
prepared to
than
the show.
This is
than us.
ridiculous. We're putting her on staff. I'm not joking about this.
It's going to be...
How thick is it? Oh, well, look what I have to order from Amazon today. Can I see that for just a second? This was one of my favorite books. And have you ever read the whole series? The series is pretty interesting. One of the books stinks and it's not that good. You can skip it, but I don't remember which one that is. The other 3 out of the 4 are great.
I like that you said you were going to order it off of Amazon instead of just stealing from a child.
Yeah, because that's what I
Can't
was
say
expecting.
that. I can't say that on camera, Jay.
Oh, okay.
That's evidence later for the cops.
Plausible deniability. I
Exactly.
gotcha.
I think the part I really liked about this book is at the very end, it left you in suspense, meaning you have to keep imagining what's happening.
Oh, I like that. You've read the book? Have you read the book?
Just the graphic novel.
Oh, read the book. It's great. But I also have the movie. Disney did a movie of this, and they never released it in theaters. It was like a straight-to-home release. And it's actually I was pleasantly surprised with it, because this is one of my favorite kids' books. Well, I'd say kids, but this is one of my favorite books of all time. So, yeah, if you haven't... Can you read? Have you learned how to read yet? Because you would really look at that face. What an idiot! Why is he talking to me like this? So no, I'll tell you what. Maybe
That face spoke volumes.
we'll
Yeah.
see about getting
You
you a
make that
copy
face
from
in
the
daily.
show and giving it to you, because that's one of my favorites of all time, and
Okay.
I'm sure you would enjoy it. So this is fantastic. I didn't know that this was out yet. Well, see, now you introduced something new to me, and maybe the people at home too. Okay, so we've gone through movies. We've gone through your graphic novels. What's your favorite book, you think? And don't say A Wrinkle in Time, because we know you haven't read that one yet.
Have you ever read Banicula? That was my favorite as a kid.
Really?
It's about a vampire rabbit that sucks the juice
Oh,
out of...
Binoc. Yeah, that was a great
sucks
one.
the juice out of vegetables, and he just...
You never read as a
Wasn't that later a
vegetarian.
cartoon just called Count Duckula?
No.
Although
they
I don't
did,
know
yeah.
that one.
Well, and then they had the sequel, The Celery Stalks at Midnight.
Yeah.
I have read that.
That's a
I
great
have read
one
the
too.
Celery
I can't
Stalk.
believe you ever
That's
read
funny.
Binocula. That was
Yeah.
such a great book,
I
especially as a
don't do a lot of
vegetarian.
vampires. I don't do a lot of
You get the
vampires, though.
vegetarian with the vegetarian stuff in it.
I don't
though.
do a lot of vampires. Werewolves, Robots.
No, robots. That's something everybody
This
can
girl.
agree on.
Vampires.
Robotic gorilla
so much.
Hitlers.
Exactly,
Yes,
exactly.
The huge.
What about, do you have like a favorite author? Do you have anybody that
I
you
like Neil
reading?
Gaiman.
You like reading him
Great.
a lot?
Yeah.
Have you
Very
read
cool.
Neverwhere yet?
Mm-mm.
It's
I
don't
really
know.
like
I would. Well, it's no. First of all, it's great. I was gonna say I don't know if it's appropriate for your age, but I'm thinking she's already like 25 years old and like what she's accomplished. So then your parents were saying that you like, you know, comics where heads are being split open and zombies and pulp. So I don't. You know what? I take that back. You should probably read Neverwhere.
It's not that graphic,
Yeah,
honestly.
and when you get done with it, maybe you can tell me a few of the things that I missed in it, because I'm assuming that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's a great game in one. Did you know he wrote an episode of Doctor Who? You know he wrote an episode of Doctor Who. Do you know which one that is?
I think.
Did you ever see the one where the TARDIS, they take the soul out of the TARDIS and put it in a girl?
Yes.
That's the Neil Gaiman one. Yeah, that's one of my favorite. I didn't know that was him when I first watched it. I was like, oh, this is one of my favorite episodes. But he had been asking to come on since season 1, and they could never find a place for him to come in on the show. And finally, he found some time to write this script. But yeah, that's one of my favorite ones, and that's so cool that you like Gaiman. Most kids I know don't,
Exactly.
or don't know who he is. I guess would be more accurate. So, what else do you like to do? What are some of your hobbies besides helping kids? That's so lame.
You go to the conventions, right? You do a little bit of costuming.
You gonna be at AllCon with us?
Yes.
All
How do you
right.
go about picking what costume you want to do? Like, how do you decide?
Well, like, for example, the first year, I didn't know you could dress up for Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
And then I saw you and Lars, and I'm like, okay, that would be cool. I want to dress up. So,
Exactly.
You know, Jay's only 3 feet tall. This is a costume he wears.
It's true. I'm actually standing on my chair.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
it's fine.
He's not really
Oh, yeah, because
sorry.
that's your Shadow Cat
Oh,
photo, right?
wow.
That's us from
Look at
Dallas Sci-Fi, right?
Yep.
Oh, you had a little Lockheed on your shoulder.
I could move him, mouth and tail, and
cool.
head.
Yeah.
And that's, I assume, is that Weird Science?
That was
Okay,
my costume from
that's
Weird
what I figured.
Science. Some people just thought I was just there being comfy pants, but whatever.
No, that's still probably my favorite movie from the 80s. I got it.
Exactly.
That's a good one.
So
Exactly.
Well, that's an impressive costume. Now,
And
who do you do all those by yourself? Do you have help, or how do you create those?
My mom does the makeup.
Because I can't even dress myself. Look what I'm wearing: a
You
blue,
really
a
can't.
blue shirt and painter's jeans and flip flops. Look at this.
He
So-
still can't tie his shoes.
Yeah.
No, I never
I lived with
learned.
him a year, and I tried to teach him every day, and it just
I
never
either wear
took.
my bunny slippers or these. That's it. That's all I can do. So how do you create these costumes then? Wow.
Because that was us at Keys Comics this past Halloween, right? That was a Walking Dead-esque
yes.
type zombie.
On I think the first episode of Walking Dead, remember the girl and her like mouth was.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know how to do the mouth, so I just did like brains coming out of my head.
It's a good substitute.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
I think it still translates. I think people know who you are. But like the costume we saw just a minute ago, and what was that one?
Shadow Cat.
Shadow Cat. How do you? I mean, do you sew that? Do you buy it somewhere? Do your parents? How do you make that?
Well, my mom sewed the costume together, and then luckily my uncle and aunt got me a purple dragon for Christmas, and Lockheed was born.
Awesome.
Nice.
I think that's how it happened in the comics, too.
Yeah.
I think Kitty just got one for Christmas.
Story within stories. Well, I'll tell you what, Reese, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Obviously, we want you to go over this. I want you to explain Einstein's theory of the general theory of relativity and the special theory of relativity to me in just a bit. Can you do that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, let's take a quick.
There are two different kinds.
Oh, no, actually, we're gonna play the video at the end of the next segment. So we're just gonna take a quick break to give everybody a moment to reset, and we'll be right back with Reese from Super 6.
Thank you.
DELoL Show.
Funny stuff.
Sunday, 2 to 3. DELoL on air.
Guys, we're back with Reese from the Super Six. Taffeta, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Jay, how are you doing today?
Swell.
Great. Let's get back
Food
to
goes
Reese.
in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Jay, food goes in
We're going to be
here.
doing Serious Pizza after this. We are so
Pretty
hungry.
excited about this pizza.
Yes,
today.
you ever had Serious Pizza? Oh, see, I thought you had good parents. But if they haven't let you have Serious Pizza yet, have y'all know what I'm talking about? Oh my gosh.
All right,
The
well,
pizza's-
honestly, a slice of their pizza is about the size of you.
Yeah,
It's
really big.
$5 huge.
They're serious about their pizza.
They're like
Yeah.
Brooklyn style New York.
They're not
giant
even Brooklyn.
pieces.
They're bigger in Brooklyn.
Really, you think so?
I think so. What do you think they're
huge.
bigger in Brooklyn? Because like you figured it's like
Never
a
been to
medium-sized
Brooklyn,
pizza.
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
You know, you get like a medium pizza, and then like you get like a fourth out of that medium
Yeah.
pizza, and it's just one slice.
This one's even huge. It's
and they're long,
giant,
and they give you a fork and knife with it because it is, it's
But
a good size.
we're Americans, so I just kind of look at the fork and knife like, why?
Yeah, I just fold it in half and go for it.
Yeah.
So, first of all, Reese, I want to say you're an amazing young girl. It's great
you.
to have you on the show. I also want to say thanks to her parents, who apparently did a great job of raising her.
Exactly.
Now, when they take you home, they don't lock you in a cage and make you read Stardust and stuff like that. Like, you will be an awesome representation of us. They're not like,
No, they just do it to the dogs. no.
your dogs can read?
read
That's
Stardust.
really
That's
impressive.
No.
amazing.
You really do have cool parents.
Yeah. So I mean, y'all didn't. You always can tell where you come from. The apple doesn't fall from the potato tree. But you guys did what a fantastic little girl. You're doing a lot of work for other people. You're very well read and well versed. You're well spoken, and you're about to go along in this wonderful trip with one of the things I started in science as a kid. And I'm a huge science fan. Is Einstein's theory of relativity was one of those interesting things I learned as a kid. And it was weird when I grew to an adult that most people still don't understand this or quite grasp the concept. Now, you did this. What is this? What was this for?
My science fair project.
Okay. And what grade are you in?
Third.
She'll be in 13th grade by next year. Watch, they're going to
Yeah.
skip her up to like 8 next year. Okay, so why don't we go over the basics? What is Einstein's... Should we start with the general or special?
Pardon?
What is Einstein's theory of relativity?
Well, what Einstein's theory of relativity is, Einstein was a very, smart man. So, he came up with speed of light, and he was thinking about the black hole and the wormhole. Now do you want me to explain?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's a wormhole?
A wormhole.
Now, that's when you bite into an apple and a worm already went through the apple,
Oh,
right?
I hate wormholes then.
I don't mind wormholes. It's when I bite into the actual worm that bugs me.
Well, Reese, the worst thing than finding a worm in your apple?
Half of
Half
it.
of a worm.
Yeah.
So go ahead and tell us about wormholes.
Okay. So if we were to travel to our nearest star, not including the sun, Alpha Centauri,
I'm glad she included that qualifier. Most people don't even do that. Yes, barring Sol. Okay.
I thought that
because
was a
I had to
planet.
explain it to kindergarteners. We had to explain it to
They're
the
so dumb, too, aren't they?
yeah. I had to explain it to every single person in the school because they didn't understand it, but like 3 people did, including the science teacher.
Including Stephen Hawkins, who was there. Very good. I like this. I will steal this.
You're very good, Reese.
So I had to explain every single little thing. But if we were to travel to the nearest star, not including the sun, Alpha Centauri, the speed of light, if we were to travel the speed of light to our nearest star.
Which is the fastest speed in the known universe, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we can go as fast as we possibly could, how long would that take us?
4 years and 2 months.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, that's
So-
not so bad.
So what would a
4
wormhole do
years?
then?
Yeah, what else are you going to do?
Exactly.
You can watch a lot of Serenity and Firefly.
Yeah.
You could knock out some of the good guys on
Read some of
TV.
Neil Gaiman books. I mean,
Yeah, you could read some
you
Neil
can occupy
Gaiman
yourself
books.
for 4 years.
You could watch one season of the EastEnders, a British TV show most people don't know anything about.
Nobody watches British.
I could watch a lot of my soaps, my Spanish soap operas.
Ooh.
But let's say we didn't want to watch a lot of Telemundo. What would wormholes do for us?
Well, if you traveled from Earth to the nearest star, not including the sun, Alpha Centauri,
Right. We'll take that as a given from now on.
that could take, if you did a wormhole, that would take you 5 minutes, where if you did the speed of light, 4 years and 2 months.
And how does a
5
worm?
minutes.
I know, 5 minutes. I want it now. I'm an American.
I mean, if I can't wait 4 years, why would I want to wait 5
Right.
minutes?
So how does a wormhole work? It's almost like space and time are a fabric, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of having to travel from one to the other, it's like if you took a piece of paper. You want to show us what
Okay.
that's like?
Okay. So if this is the fabric of space and time, this is Earth, and this is our nearest star, not including the sun, Epperson Hurry.
That's gonna go on a T-shirt for the show. not including the nearest our sun.
And you bend space and time. You connect a wormhole through here,
Mm-hmm.
and this would take you 5 minutes, 4 years and 2 months.
Right. So it's almost as like if you had two entrances on the side of each side of a building, and the only way, if there was a wall between them, you would have to walk outside the building, walk around the building, and then walk back inside. Or if you just punch a hole through the wall, you can walk between the two. It's the same thing. It's not bending it, but it's essentially you're creating a little hole
Yeah.
that shortens the distance between the two when you would normally have to go around.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. What are some TV shows that use that? Are there TV shows or movies that use that type of technology?
Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
And when I was at the Fan Days, what? Sci-fi. I'm sorry, my mind just went blank.
You have a lot to keep up there. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're doing fine.
When I was at the sci-fi expo, and I saw Mr. Lloyd, not Dr. Lloyd.
Yeah, Doc Brown.
Yes, Doc Brown and Mr. Lloyd. I asked him a
And
question.
here's the interesting Christopher Lloyd does a great Doc Brown impression.
Really?
Ask him to do it. It's the best I've seen. It really
Great
is.
Scott!
Yeah, he does. It sounds just like the character. It's great.
But I asked him a question. Does the flux capacitor use the speed of light or the wormhole theory? And he asked me, what am I doing for dinner? I still don't get that.
Yeah, I actually have that because I was lucky enough to attend that panel, and eventually I'll get you a copy of that audio, but it's still going through the people who actually sent me out there for the other radio show that I do that I was covering it for. Sorry, DELoL show.
It's okay. Taft gets around. We've all known it.
So I was actually there, and that was probably like, I think that was the last thing I heard on my audio was like, and cut. That's all I need. She just asked him that, and he asked her out to dinner, and I'm good with the panel. It was very cute. I think pretty much nobody wanted to ask him a question after you. Everybody was like, I can't really top that. There's no point.
Except for the guy that was dressed up like the doctor. He felt okay.
See, I think that's when I was done. Like,
Now,
seriously,
see-
after you, I was like, I'm done.
See,
I've
my
got enough.
argument for I'll give you an answer on this. See, the flux capacitor doesn't work by bending space and time, because if it did, you would arrive in a different space moments later, right? But you're
Yes.
traveling through time. So my theory is what it does is it takes the same idea but reverses the space and the time axes, so it pushes you back through time in the same way of creating a wormhole through space. Think on that. See?
She
It's
needs,
the sa- it's the
she
same-
needs a very small beard.
because the wormhole, because the wormhole theory is only for space travel, right? But time and space are perpendicular to each other, kind of like all the other dimensions are. So you gotta rotate them, and then what happens is if you try to move forward in space, it pushes you back in time.
now.
Got it.
I'll show you my time machine later. It's a little more. It's almost working. I can go. I've perfected it. I can go forward 1 second in time for every 1 second that passes. So it's
Not bad.
It's really good.
That's
yeah.
better than most.
Yeah, most people's time machines can't do that. So I also have a.
And it's only one way, right?
Yeah, it's only one way. You can only go forward in time 1 second
But
for every
that's
second
the way
that
you want it,
passes.
so that you avoid time paradoxes, which was a big problem.
Right,
in
I
Back to the
designed it
Future.
to avoid time paradoxes by making it
Thought of
only go at
everything.
the rate of time. Yeah. So
Goes at the
What
speed
place
of
did you
time.
take? Did you? How was this received at your school? What did the teachers think? What place did they give you?
First.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
Imagine
have.
that.
As well.
the other guy's like, I made colored jelly beans. Yes.
And then people with all the volcanoes are
Ralph.
just walking
Yes.
away with the volcanoes.
Yeah,
Do you ever think about transporting the volcanoes with baking soda and vinegar?
oh yeah.
You should try transporting that 10 feet across the room. First place like that every time. Volcano, clone it.
Something that was pretty sad is because the night when all the judges were grading our work, a boy that wasn't there that night, he had his science project out, and he did the Coke and the
Mentos?
Mentos, yes. And one of the boys in 3rd grade put the Mentos in, but you weren't supposed to, and it blew up, and all of the science projects around that project and everyone did whiteboards except for me.
Well, it makes sense. Space.
Yeah. I was going to do little stars on it because I have a little planetarium that you can just shine on
think
it
you did
to make
fine.
stars.
I
But
like the infinity speed
You're-
limit.
Yeah, I
oh,
like
thank
that.
you.
Your exposition
clever.
of
I was
theoretical
trying to be a little
physics.
fun.
Yeah.
Nope, very clever. Good visual effects.
So let me ask you this, because I see Star Trek up there, and of course we're talking about moving matter around it in space. You know the transporters in Star Trek, how they zoom down one person and then put them on a planet?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. It's not moving the person, right? It's deconstructing a person and probably shooting that reconstruction pattern like blueprints to the planet. Well, why couldn't they just make 2 of people? Like, you know what I mean? Why couldn't
Like
they
an
just
instant
scan
clone?
like an instant clone? And then I got
Isn't
a
that
question.
John Carter?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And,
There's other
they,
movies.
and
that
they do have the replicators that make their food for
Right.
them.
And so my question is it necessary in Star Trek? What do you think? Is it necessary in Star Trek to destroy Star Trek? Yeah. Star Trek. Is it necessary to destroy the original person before beaming them to the planet? And an even weirder question, is that the same person even if they have all their same memories, if they're made up of all different molecules?
See, well, here's the problem with that. Like, if you started just constructing new people down on the planets, they'd want to come back. You wind up having too many crew members because it's a ship. It can only support so many people. And then, because then you'd wind up with situations where, like, the original and the copy would be, you know, basically trying to kill each other.
I'm
Because
thinking
it's like the
of
Prestige.
The illusion, yeah, the Prestige, and also that Homer Simpsons episode where, like, Homer gets that, you know, magical cloning hammock, and it keeps spinning, and he just keeps cloning himself.
Well, I guess we're
himself.
talking about the ethical dilemma of
I was
existential
thinking,
duplicate.
But I instantly thought
I was thinking
Prestige.
of Thunderdome because there could
I was thinking of pizza.
because
honestly.
two clones enter and only one can leave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
I still like
So-
the whole Tesla thing with the Prestige just a little bit more.
That's a great movie too. But what do you think?
Ooh,
What do you
Tesla
think about
and-
that? If it's just like the replicators where they can make copies.
Well, I think if you have, like, okay, so one person's on the ship, and then they beam, so now there's two, and then he thinks it didn't work, so they try again, and try it again, and eventually you have so many people, you wouldn't really be able to tell who's who, sort of like on X-Men when, what's her name?
Jean Grey.
Mystique?
No.
So. Cyclops.
I can't remember her name.
Werewolf. X-Man.
Ice Queen.
Psylocke.
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Superman.
Rogue.
No, but she can, like, change into people.
Mystique.
Yes, Mystique. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Lucky.
Mystique changed into Bobby, but Rogue didn't know that it was Mystique. So if on Star Trek there were so many people, you wouldn't be able to tell who is who.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you know what identical twins are? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you know identical twins are the one egg that split. Mm-hmm. You know, they have the same genetic code. So technically speaking, the identical twins are clones of each other. They have the exact same DNA all the way down. What do you think about that?
That's true.
Did you hear about that woman here in Dallas who gave birth to two sets of identical twins on the same day?
Yeah. The twos don't match each other, but they match.
Yeah, it's two separate sets of identical
And
twins.
interestingly enough, even though their DNA is exactly the same down the board for identical twins, which are essentially biological clones of each other, they have different fingerprints. And there's always a shorter-faced one and a wider. And I wanted to ask that. What do you think if you travel back and forth on the transporter? Do you think how, you know, there's twins, there's always a skinnier one and a slightly bigger one, and there's, you know, they have different fingerprints. Do you think when Picard goes down to the island, or, you know, the planet, do you think that maybe he's got a little bit wider, fatter face when it didn't program it right?
Do you think it changes the
Do you think there's
fingerprints every
different
time? I mean, if it's breaking you down
Yeah,
and
how
reconstructing you,
exact do you think those transporters are? Do you think they just get it close, or do you think it's exact?
you know, that really opens up a whole thing for like a murder mystery.
That's
'cause
what I'm
if
saying.
the fingerprints are different.
All
every
right, I want to
time-
see a murder mystery Star Trek now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they did that one with Data as...
Well, we have
Sherlock Holmes.
we have our work cut out for us. We got to do this.
All right, writing a new episode of Star Trek, Next Generation. So what do you think?
Well, I bet that over the years, saying it again. But over the years,
Excluding the sun.
over the years, people and aliens and everything, space, planets, everything, they have got more technology, and they know, like, people just came out with iPhones. Like, their equipment is getting more strong.
Right.
So,
Well, they have spaceships then.
yeah.
And transporters.
So I bet the transporter doesn't get super, super close. I mean, I bet it gets close, but something's going to be different about the person.
See, I like this. Yeah, because it can't be technology is never perfect.
Yeah.
Files corrupt, and cell phones get drop calls. What do you think happens like a drop cell phone call when they try to transport everybody down? There's one guy in a red shirt, and he doesn't make it down. They're like, "Oop, drop call on the transporter."
And he's like up in the atmosphere and just plummeting down.
Ooh, he's on hold. Yeah.
See, I was always more of a Stargate fan, and they actually address stuff like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
there were episodes where, like, the gate closes too soon, and they had to figure out, what happened to
I need
them.
to watch more.
Where's our buddy?
I need to watch more Stargate. Every episode I've ever watched, especially the TV show, I've always been very pleasantly thrilled with, because it deals with a lot of philosophy too in the show that I always
No,
like.
that's probably some of my favorite of the sci-fi movies.
See, I've seen the movie and I love the movie, but apparently the television show is one of the most clever television shows out there.
It
It's
was
The Wire of sci-fi.
It had a great run. I mean, 10 seasons. Its spinoff had 4 or 5 seasons, 3 movies. I mean, they did very well for themselves on that.
To get away from
premise.
sci-fi, have you ever seen The Wire? Okay, I figured not. when you get older, we'll all get in a big group. And we'll watch one or the other. So I want to take a quick, now that we've gone over this and we've demonstrated how much more intelligent you are than all the rest of us. I do want to return a little bit to the Super Six.
Okay.
So, what are ways people can go about helping you and your group? How can they get in touch with you?
Well,
Should they use transporters?
Should they stand on corners and yell?
well, most of the kids in the Super 6 group have an email.
Okay. Do y'all have a website?
No.
Okay.
We should do that.
You should. I tell you what. How about something I can do? I do websites. Would you like me to help out and design and do a website for you guys for free?
That would
That's
be...
something I can do, because I'm not giving anybody my stuff if I want to keep it. I'll give them the comics I don't want, but the comics I do, nobody's getting my Blackest Nights. That ain't happening.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, would that help you guys out if I were to help y'all?
That would be amazing. Thank you.
Okay, no, not a problem.
Thank you so much.
We can see about doing something like that. I'll give you a really good deal too, like just $2,000 or $3,000.
That's it.
He just said free.
No, we'll definitely see about doing something for you guys. I'll help you out for that.
Have
And
you
also,
considered contacting any larger groups like Child's Play from the guys at Penny Arcade do?
Oh,
they
that's a
have
good
they have a
idea.
very similar mission to what you're working on, and I mean they work with all sorts of groups that do what you do, and they're such a big national and now international group. They have the resources to really get your message out across Dallas, so you may want to consider shooting them an email.
Okay.
okay, Jay.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what,
I contributed something.
I've been thinking about using the show to do something positive for a little while.
For once.
For once, yeah. Well, I was going to help dogs that need to be spayed and neutered, because I understand exactly how much that costs now. But I got to admit, this won me
Have you
over a little
gotten
bit more.
your
You're a
dog
little bit
spayed yet?
cuter than my new dog, so I think you might have won me over on that. But what would y'all say about maybe taking on a little bit of this for the show and kind of helping them out as much as we can?
Yeah,
Would you like to do that?
that would be great.
Because, I
Thank
mean, we get to
you.
go to all cons and plenty of other cons and stuff like that. And I think that
Here's
it
his
would.
dog, by the way.
I have a video of her chasing her tail for 6 minutes straight in a circle. Okay.
Here you go.
She was so miserable. What do you think about doing that? I thought
I think we should.
We
because
absolutely should.
we need something to make us look better in the eyes of the community, and what better way than latching onto a kid who's actually doing something
Thank
and
you.
pretending to do something. So
I think that's good.
Well, I think it would be our benefit. Maybe next time we're doing some remotes, we'll see about if people want to be able to donate stuff at some of our remotes. Maybe we'll talk to some of the guys here at the station. They're a
should
little
talk to
cold.
the people
They're a
at
little
Fro-
cold-hearted, but we'll see what we can do about maybe getting a donation.
We should talk
box
to the
sent up
folks at
somewhere.
Froggy's. They like us.
I was gonna say Froggy's,
Yeah.
this a toy store down the street on
Thank
Knox
you.
Henderson. They're great. Maybe we can talk to them about getting a donation box set up there
Wow.
as well.
Yeah.
Wow, thank
So-
you guys.
No, thank you. You're really gonna make us look okay, and we're gonna look a lot more responsible to the community.
We're gonna look a lot less bad.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you.
So, well, we got a video that your group put together that we're going to show real fast.
Okay.
And you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, when we helped these kids, one of the things we had to do in the process was we had to show our work. Now, I don't mean draw a picture and type up what we have to make a movie about our work. So,
All
Yeah.
homework in the future will be done with movies.
That's
In
okay.
Star Trek, I'll tell you this: nobody types. They do video homework and they send
record
it
it.
in. Yeah.
I wish I could have done
nice.
that as a kid, man. That'd be awesome.
I actually when I was in high school, I turned in more of my assignments on film because I could do it quicker. I would ask it special permission instead of writing a 10-page report to do a 10-minute video and turn it in. And surprisingly, teachers were really accepting of that. They said as long as it contained
Teachers
the
don't want to
information.
read another 10-page report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just like, all right, let me press play. Awesome.
One time I just copied Monty Python on the Holy Grail and put my name at the end, and I got 100. No, that never happened. Don't do that.
okay.
Have you
Something
seen Monty
similar
Python
did.
on the Holy Grail?
Uh-uh.
Oh, really?
It's a
Has she
good
seen any Monty Pythons?
She's seen bits and pieces.
All right. Well, next time we do a Monty Python show, maybe we'll send you some
It's
stuff.
still a little old.
Really? My parents were making me watch that like out of the womb. I had to watch Monty Pythons.
There's a lot of blood in the Holy Grail.
There's a lot of blood. And there's
It's
a lot
the
of
funny guy, and he jumps
language
around.
and
Well-
terms.
The blood doesn't really matter about me. It's like the language or
Okay.
other things.
There's a lot of adult situations.
Yeah, that's-
in some of
Yeah.
those movies.
That's true.
Remember,
Too
9?
perilous.
Yeah.
like in some of the books or comics or movies. My mom has to go through them and watch them or read them
Well, that's
before
good.
I
Good.
do.
You have responsible parents. That's
Yes.
much better than just letting her sit down. Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll edit down a clean version of Monty Python on the Holy Grail. So there'll still be the Black Knight. There'll be the swallow dove scene.
Yeah,
So
you're
what
gonna-
is your favorite color? That'll be in there.
You're gonna have to cut out like the whole Lancelot part of the quest.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that wasn't even in the original, but yeah, we'll pull that out. Maybe I'll make a cleaned up version, the Super 6 version of it, and I'll talk to Spielberg about re-releasing it. No, Lucas. I'll be like, hey, I fixed this film. Does ILM want to re-release this as the new Star Wars? So that joke bombed. All right.
Yeah.
So
Man, dude.
video.
Yeah. So, Reese, we want to say thanks for coming on the show, and we're going to talk to you a little bit after this about what we can do to help you out. I think what you're doing is absolutely great. I know Jay doesn't really care about it; he thinks it's a waste of time. But
I'm just a
Taffet
curmudgeon.
and I think it's really great what you're doing for these kids and for their families. So I want to say
Thank you.
thank you. Can I get a
Why do you gotta be
thank
such
you
a
very
downer,
much
Jay?
for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the Super 6, we'll have you back on once we get the website up and going, and we have a way for everybody to kind of start. Maybe we can set up a way that people can donate online.
oh
to
yeah, that'd
your
be
group.
smart.
So either groups or I know it is. I thought of it.
Don't get
All right, no more camera on her.
Yeah.
No. So maybe we'll think of a way people can donate money and stuff online, and we'll set up like a
Okay.
Kickstarter or Indiegogo or
Thank
something
you.
like that.
Very
so
smart.
we can. I know. God, if I have to hear that one more time today, I'm so upset.
It'll only be the only time you
Of
hear
average
it.
intelligence, yeah. But I think this is absolutely great. You want to hold up that logo one more time so
Yeah.
people can see it on the camera here. And I do want to say thank you. And of course, thanks to the parents for helping her in every way, but raising such a good kid. This is. I hope my daughter, if I ever find out who she is, I get, I hope that she turns out to be something like this. And when my son gets out of prison,
No.
I think we're gonna.
If I ever spawn progeny, I hope they're like you.
If I can ever convince a woman, to love me, then Reese, thank you very much for being on the show. And
Thank you.
this, what is the video again we're going to be watching?
well,
This is the report you had to do, correct?
Yes.
And who did you turn it into?
we turned it into, the judges basically.
For what? Was it your school or college?
It's called Destination Imagination. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Okay, so what we do is a grown-up or someone gives us a problem and we get to solve the problem, but that's why the picture, there was only kids in it, right? So we have to do everything by ourselves. We don't get any help, but there's no way I could just do
Right,
a movie.
right.
Like, we're still kids, but we get help, but they they don't do it for us.
Gotcha.
They'll like show us what to do, and then we get to do it.
Well, anyway, we can help out with that. We do a little bit of filming and stuff too.
Thank
if you ever
you.
need some help, don't call us for everything. We're busy. No, if you
Not
ever need
really.
anything, we'll. Yeah, not really. But yeah, you let us know if you need help. So you've got friends on the show now. So
Thank you.
the DELoL's own Reese from the Super Six. You're part of the group now. You're an official member of the show. What do you think about that? So maybe when we have some kids stuff, for next time we do Froggies or a Toy Story, you want to sit in on with us
Love
for that
to.
show? Great. we
Toy
can do that.
reviews.
Yeah, we'll do
We need
toy
to do
reviews.
another one of those.
Yeah, we
That
spent
was
the whole
so
day
much
reviewing
fun.
toys for like 4 hours.
It was
and
so
eating
much
candy.
fun. And eating candy. So much free candy shoved on our
Yum.
faces. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
all right. Well,
growing
let's
up can be pretty
Jenna, if
fun.
we can run that video now. We're going to come back after. We're going to take a quick break after the video. We're going to come back and review Trauma Comics, Nazi Werewolves from Outer Space 2.
Yay!
It's gonna be.
Maybe I'll wake up today and the fog will fade away and birds will start to sing to me. I teach myself how to be like the child that I once was, careless, wild, and running free. Maybe I'll wake up today, maybe that's the way to be. Oh yeah. And maybe I won't miss a thing the silly world has said to me. And maybe what is really real is really someone else's dream. And I remember someone told me growing up is growing lonely. Or whatever they say, or whatever they say. 'Cause what good would it do me if you never even knew me? So maybe I'll wake up today and everything will be okay. Maybe I'll go out today and everyone will know my name. And they'll smile and they'll say, we're so glad that you came. And now you don't have to be scared, 'cause you know that we are here. And there's nothing we won't do just for being you. And I remember someone told me growing up is growing lonely. Or whatever they say, or whatever they say. 'Cause what good would it do me if you never even knew me? So maybe I'll wake up today and everything will be okay. And maybe I'll leave it all behind.
This is Lauren. When she was 9, she had to go to the doctor's office and she found out that she had cancer. We're going to tell the story when Lauren had to go to the doctor's office and was diagnosed with cancer. Let the story begin. Mama, my stomach really hurts.
I will call the doctor and book an appointment.
I will drive you there tomorrow.
Hi, Nurse Williams. We need to book an appointment with Dr. Caton for Lauren.
Sure. Can you be here tomorrow at 9 a.m.?
Okay, we will be there.
We are here for an appointment for Lauren to see Dr. Caton.
Okay, I will call Dr. Keaton. Dr. Keaton, Lauren is here to see you.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Please lay down, Lauren. I'm going to take some blood to see if you are sick or healthy. Dr. Keaton, I need to speak with you, please.
Dr. Keaton, let's look at all the results. Let's go talk to Lauren's family.
That was the scariest day of my life, and my life changed forever. I was really scared about what was going to happen to me and what other people would think. I wore a beanie for 1 year to cover up my hair loss from the chemotherapy, but I don't know why. I found my friends would never hurt me or make me feel bad.
That day was the scariest for our entire family. We were sent to the hospital immediately after Lauren was diagnosed with cancer. We didn't have anything we needed for a long stay at the hospital, like toothpaste, hairbrush, shampoo, and toothbrush.
The Imagination team is working together to make buddy bags for the kids like Lauren and their parents that are admitted to the hospital. Miss Evelyn will talk to you more about Wipe Out Kids Cancer and buddy bags.
Wipe Out Kids Cancer is a Dallas-based non-profit organization founded in 1980, dedicated to raising awareness and funding for pediatric cancer. Researched on a national basis, we have raised over $4 million in the crusade against pediatric cancer and spent over 30 years developing programs to not only fight childhood cancer, but to also provide hope and support to kids and families dealing with cancer. Our mission is to work for the day when all children are living cancer-free. A buddy bag is given to each family admitted for cancer treatment at Children's Medical Center, Dallas. The buddy bags are designed to ease the transition from home to hospital for both the children and parents, and are filled with over 30 items, including basic toiletries and comfort items such as pillows, blankets, hairbrushes, toothpaste, notebooks, note cards, shampoo, skin lotion, envelopes, stamps, and much more.
Myself how to be like the child that I once was, careless, wild, and running free. Maybe I'll wake up today, maybe that's the way to be. Oh yeah. And maybe I won't miss a thing the silly world has said to me, and maybe what is really real is really some.
And we're back with Reese and the Super Six. Now, Reese, you said the girl at the end of the video, that was the one you had helped, right?
Yes.
That was your friend? What was her name again?
Let's see.
You don't remember your friend's name?
No. that wasn't Lauren.
Oh, that's the one you got the picture of.
Yes, that's the first kid that we helped.
Let's just call her Roseanne.
Okay.
Kid number one.
Yeah,
kid number one. Kid number two.
There you go. So we're pretty excited, but now we're going to actually, because we're running up against the clock here, we're going to be moving Trauma Comics to next week. But we did get to read it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Jay and I.
So did I.
Both did.
Looking forward to that review.
Very pulp, very exactly what it's supposed to be.
I want to know who Cyborg Hitler reports to.
Yeah, I know. There's
I need issue 3 now.
It's like the Agents of Foul and Darkwing. There's this masked characters, and I got to know who that is. Well, we won't go into it too much further. We will be reviewing that. And I do want to say thank you to Simon Sanchez for giving us an advanced copy of that.
Yes, thanks, Simon.
So that's really cool. But Reese, you also do costumes and stuff at things, and you won a few awards.
Yes.
Now, what is it like? Maybe like 18th place, 19th place. What's the best you've done so far?
First.
First. Well,
that's her usual.
That's
place.
almost better than 2. So let's see what do you get? First prize, best kids costume. I never win the kids costume contest. Never.
And you enter every year.
This was for, let's see. This was for my rogue costume.
Very nice.
And then for my Weeping Angel, I got 3rd. I got beat by a zombie and a
zombie.
That's not original.
And Jawas?
And Jawas.
Oh,
yes.
and Jawas. All right, it's pretty. I'd have to see it to determine whether they really were.
Yeah,
better.
I think that was October, wasn't it? October. Yeah, it was like actually I was one of the judges. I think it was like myself.
Yes,
And you didn't give her first place.
You don't know that.
wrong.
It's me and 4 other people. Get off my back. However, you did do a costume contest this past at Sci-Fi, right?
Yes.
And I think you
What
got
were you at Sci-Fi?
First.
You should get first at Sci-Fi.
Very nice.
And then this year I also won first place. But they didn't hand out the little plats this year.
Oh.
They just gave us money and tickets.
Well,
Sure.
this is where I keep my first place trophies that I've won, if I had any.
Yes, foam.
So-
Foam. I like foam.
The Foamy Awards. The Foamies. That was very good.
That's
now,
just
you
the
also,
participant award.
right, the largest participant award.
you
Very
make 'em?
odd. You have some pictures here that you were wanting to show, so let's go through some of these.
Yeah, because you get some types.
I'm surprised you hadn't been like, oh, and here's the book I've wrote, and here's my screenplay I'm working on.
You know.
Actually, my friend
Here it goes.
my friend from Keith's Comics, Kelly. What? Sorry, Zeus Comics.
Okay, we know Kelly, yeah.
Yeah,
Kelly.
sorry. At Zeus Comics, my friend Kelly, she's working on a movie, and she said I might be able to be in it. So
Ooh,
yay!
very nice. I'm excited.
Super cool.
So
Just
here-
remember us when you're famous.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Here's something John Hughes.
You might want to
did.
flip that up. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
No, it's
That's
definitely right.
Well, the
side
hair
up.
was falling. I assumed it was falling down.
Action.
Could
John
you go ahead and lift
Hughes.
it up just a little? There you go.
John Hughes drew this picture
And do you know why John Hughes is famous?
because he's a good artist.
Yes, that's it.
That is it.
It's not Pretty in Pink.
Different spelling.
I know.
Do you? And I
was
really
gonna
like
see
the
if
other
she
one
knew
that
the
you
difference
had. You
between
had
the
a
two.
really cool one of you and Blockade.
Yeah, I like that one. Let's see
I think
that
that
one.
one's ridiculously neat.
And this one is from Taylor.
Who I've met a few times, and he does some pretty cool. He does the Bugman comics, and then he has a podcast that I've seen him out there with another gentleman. And I can't think of his name. I'm sorry, but they do some cool toy podcasts. But just the detail on the dragon alone, and he captured you pretty well.
Yeah.
Quite
Go ahead and
cute.
hand me the books. I want to see some of the other pictures you have underneath there. We'll get those out of the way here.
Get those out of the way here.
It's
So here is I and the Firefly crew. Let's see.
I want to Photoshop my face into that.
I know. That's like, I want
Yeah.
to photobomb all these.
This was my first year ever going, or else I would have dressed up.
But you're wearing a Dalek. You know, my
Yes, yes,
girlfriend
yes.
has crushes on Daleks, and she does. She's really awesome. She has a robe that's a Dalek robe she wears. When she wears it, it makes her look like a Dalek. And I have a TARDIS robe, so when we hang out, we look like Doctor Who hanging out. It's great.
And that's actually from my birthday party.
Very cool.
I had a birthday party, and the cake was a Dalek. Everything was Dalek. So that was
Carol would have died.
We may have to throw her
She
one
has,
for her
she
own
has a
birthday.
little stuffed animal she actually takes to bed that's a little stuffed Dalek. Oh, go ahead and turn that a little bit.
the.
Yeah, you've got it sideways.
Oh,
Clockwise.
oh, sorry.
I learned about space-time, didn't learn about orientation.
Show's ruined.
Thanks for running the whole show, Reese.
All
We're
right.
gonna have to restart now.
So here,
Who is that? And don't say me. I know that's you. Who's the other guy? Is that your grandpa?
That's what I was thinking. Is that Grandpa?
Oh. Who is that?
Grand
Is
uncle.
that Christopher Lloyd? Yeah.
no,
Sorry, I don't know everybody. Is that Mr. T?
no.
Oh, who is it? Tell me who it is.
This is me, and this is Stan Lee.
Oh, that rhymes. Me and Stan Lee. That's what you should name the piece.
Me and Stan Lee.
Write us a song. Next time you come in, I want to hear it on piano.
Okay.
All right. So that's pretty cool. So you've gotten to meet, even at your age, you've gotten to meet a lot of people. You've won lots of awards. You're doing more charity work than I'm ever going to do. Let's face it. And you got some great taste here.
You need to get a picture with him because he is one of the biggest names in the comic book
That's
industry.
never going to be let down, ever.
Yeah, no, that'll never. They do an interview for you, and I end up coming out looking the best, not even in the show. So thank you for that, by the way. It's a title I can use till the day. That'll be on my tombstone.
Uh-huh. Oh, I know it.
You know. It'll be right next to Taft's tombstone, and it'll be like, I'm with Taft. Actually, I might do that.
I'm with her.
I'm with her. So, well, Reese, I want to say thanks for coming on the show. It was a real pleasure. I'd like to shake your hand again. You've done quite a bit, and I'm very proud of you, and I wish more people followed in your footsteps. And so, we're going to extend to you.
Tiny feet.
Yeah, well, if they followed in your footsteps, that's what sand people do. So they hide their numbers.
I
get it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So little kids are like sand people. But anyway, we want to say thanks for being on the show. And anything you need from us, we'll talk to you about doing the website and some other stuff. And then, we'll see what we can do as the show about getting some donation boxes and stuff set up. But once again, thanks for being on the show. Taft, thanks for bringing her in. You did a good job. It's Taft who brought you in, so
Thank you.
Oh, there's my pat on the back.
Really,
Good girl. Thank you.
Really, she put this together, and
validation.
It was not only was a great idea. You're right, wonderful girl. You totally stole her heart, and she was like, "No, we have to bring her on the show. She's so exciting." And you're right, she wasn't a disappointment at all. Like I just assumed you were going to be. So look at that face. I love her face. You have the best up eyebrows I've ever seen on a kid. So,
and we're out.
She's very animated. All right, guys, you've been watching another episode of the DELoL show.
Of course, had
Reese with the Super 6 here, and we want to say thanks and see you next week. We're reviewing Nazi Werewolves from Outer Space and Dallas Brucing Guys and Black Mariah.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
Bye.